Welcome back, my beautiful friends. I hope you've been well. Madison Blake has no intention of anything happening with one Beauregard Jackson. However, he is captivated. Let's see how this goes, shall we? Madison stood and hurried out of her office. Amber's office was as good as any to take refuge in. That man has left his scent in hers, and she couldn't stand it not a minute longer. There was a young man squatting in front of her desk, while Amber was seated across from him with the keyboard in her lap. "Is that it?" she asked him. "Yes, that's it, thank you," he answered. Amber looked up at her mother and waved. "Is your computer done?" "Yes, Mr. Jackson just finished with it. What were you doing?" "Oh, I was helping. Did you change your password too?" Yeah," Madison averted her eyes. Amber was too sharp to keep things from. The young tech snapped the cover back over the computer tower and stood up. Both women watched as he cleared up all the odd pieces of wire, boards, and packed up his case. "My boss said that he arranged for us to come back for the other units later this week. Thanks for your help, miss. I better go join the others downstairs." "This was a good move, Mom. Did you see all we can do with this software? And it's malware-proof, too," Amber gushed. "Yes, Mr. Jackson explained some of the features to me. Wasn't your sister coming in today?" "She has finals, remember?" Madison nodded and looked at her watch. It was still early. Brittany was still in school. Becca poked her head in to let them know that she was in. "Oh, Becca, your computer wasn't on the list of units to be done today. You can use mine if you need to. I'll use Mom's," Amber told her. "No need. Someone is fixing it right now. That's what I came to tell you. And Mr. Jackson is waiting for you in your office, Ms. Blake." Madison frowned. He had her doing a lot of that, and she'd only known him less than 24 hours. Amber followed her mother to her office to find Mr. Jackson sitting beside her desk. He looked up from the tablet in his hand. He watched her as she walked toward him. Madison felt her whole body flush as a result of his scrutiny. "Ms. Blake, I have the invoice prepared for you. Because the installation wasn't just for one unit, I can give you a discount," he said as he handed her the tablet. Madison took the tablet from him and studied the itemized invoice. She was surprised that it was affordable. For $5,000, he could outfit all 3 of her stores. She looked up at him quickly. "Is this price correct? I mean, when we spoke yesterday, I did mention that I have 2 other establishments to outfit. There are 8 units in each." Secretly, she hoped it was a mistake, and that he'd quote an outrageous amount she could refuse. "That's my price, Ms. Blake. My software is new, and for now I can afford to charge introductory rates," he explained. Amber reached over to see for herself, and she smiled her approval. "Mom, we won't get a bargain like this again." "Yes, I can see that." "Very well, Mr. Jackson. How soon can you finish all the stores?" Madison asked. "I overbooked my guys today, so they'll be busy most of today and tomorrow. Your establishments are open on Saturdays, which makes a huge difference. I think we can be done by next Monday." "That's wonderful," Amber insisted. Becca came into the office with the young man who worked on Amber's unit. He had a panicked look on his face. Boss, Value Health just called to cancel. Our guys was set to go there next," he reported. Mr. Jackson stood up quickly. "Ms. Blake, you might be in luck to have this place done completely today. If you'll excuse me, I have a call to make." He turned to follow his crewman out of the office. "Wonder what that was about," Amber said. "Perhaps his services aren't what he says they are," her mother surmised. "Whatever, since we're back online, I'll go call those candidates to reschedule their interviews." "Good idea. Do you know any of them? One claimed her name was Indigo." "That's a stage name, and he's up and coming. He killed at last year's hair show." "Really?" "Yeah, if we hire him, we could garner more of the younger set." "Well, his credentials aren't my only criteria. Personality goes a long way, too. With a stage name, that tells me that he has an ego to go with it." Madison's phone alarm went off to indicate that it was 10 a.m. and they were open for business. Amber's phone chirped a message from Brittany. "Brittany says she won't make it to the new store. One of her exams was rescheduled for later this afternoon, but she's coming here to kill time." "That's okay. We've got time before we open," Madison assured her. "All right then, let me go make those calls. Are we still on for later?" Madison smiled at her daughter. "We sure are." Madison was just about to go out for breakfast when Mr. Jackson returned to see her. Madison wasn't expecting him to come back, and she secretly hoped that he'd come back to tell her he couldn't do the job. Becca ushered him in with Brittany in tow. "Was there something you forgot, Mr. Jackson?" Madison didn't care if she sounded rude. "Actually, I came to let you know that we'll be finishing up this store today and can start on your new one as well. If you give me the address, I can head over there now." "I thought you had a conflict earlier, and now you have time to do both stores. May I ask why?" "Oh, you heard my guy tell me about Value Health. They canceled because they had an electrical fire last night. They must get that sorted before I can install their units," Mr. Jackson explained. "Oh, that's awful," Madison said. "These things happen. Now, about the new store, who can go with me to get the ball rolling?" "Mom, I have the deliveries to oversee," Amber said, spreading her arms wide. "I have my final in about an hour," Brittany said. "Well, I guess that leaves me. Amber, get me the keys, please," Madison said, feeling resigned. Amber grabbed her sister and pulled her along with her. "If you give me the address, I can meet you there, Miss Blake," Mr. Jackson said. "I didn't drive into the city, Mr. Jackson. If you don't mind, I'll travel with you and your crew." "Oh, then I'll be waiting for you downstairs," he replied and left. "Did you see the way Mr. Jackson was eyeing Mom, and did you see how nervous she was around him?" Amber asked as soon as they were in her office. "Yeah, I noticed. It's usually the men who get nervous around her, not the other way around. I think he likes her." "It's about time some guy made her nervous," Amber shot back. "Mom doesn't date, Amber. She has escorts to events, and it's never the same guy twice," Brittany reminded her sister. "I don't think this guy is going to be an escort," Amber insisted. "That's only if she lets him, and I don't think she's going to." A knock on the door had the girls shutting up quickly. Amber opened the door to Mr. Jackson standing behind it. My guy said he left some tools in your office earlier. Would you mind if I looked for it?" he asked. Amber let him in and reached over to her desk to pick up a black pouch. She showed it to him. "Is this it?" she asked him. "Yes, that's it, thank you." Mr. Jackson, do you like my mother?" Brittany blurted out. Mr. Jackson shot her a surprised look. "Excuse me?" "We couldn't help but notice how you were staring at her. Do you like her?" Amber reiterated. "I can assure you that I intend to have a professional relationship with your mother. If my admiring her made you girls uncomfortable, I apologize." "Our mother doesn't date much, Mr. Jackson. If you're interested, we wouldn't stand in your way." "Your mother is very attractive, but I don't think I stand a chance with her," he admitted. "You'll never know until you try," Brittany said, as she walked out of the office. Beau didn't know what to make of what was happening. He tipped his hat to Amber and followed Brittany out to the elevators. The elevator ride was awkward as Madison chose that exact time to join them. No one said a word. Outside, they parted. Brittany to her car, her mother and Mr. Jackson to his Escalade idling in front of the building. "Is this your car?" Madison asked. "Yes, I want to apologize in advance for the condition inside. I moved some stuff to the back tier in case you didn't want to ride up front," Beau Jackson said. He held his hand out to help her up. The cab was higher than she expected. Beau eyed the expanse of thigh as she got up into the front seat. "I've always wondered about this vehicle," she said with excitement. Beau relaxed a bit. He was still rattled by the conversation he'd had with her daughters. He wondered what she'd say if she knew they were practically throwing her at him. "Would you like to drive?" She shook her head. "It's enough that I'm riding in it." She looked around and glanced at the back rows. "Is this custom made for you?" "How'd you guess?" "I'm a fan, but I've never seen one this big before." "Yeah, it cost me a mint, but I tweaked the design a bit. I wanted some extra room in it, so where to?" Madison rattled off the address and they were off. She was waiting for him to ask for directions, but he seemed to know where he was going, so she sat back to enjoy the ride. Manhattan traffic was bad no matter what time of day, and she hardly felt the stop and go as they went along. The new salon would be occupying the first 2 floors of the building, located on 7th Avenue and West 21st Street. She and her daughters planned every step of their grand opening. They wanted everything to be perfect, and having the computers upgraded was a step in the right direction. Cosmetology has evolved in the last 20 years, and this salon would be embracing all of it, from new and approved cosmetics, shampoos, and hair dryers. They parked in front of the building, and Bo carried his gear, following her inside. "Is your crew coming to meet you here?" she asked him. "No, I've sent them along to our next appointment. Since these computers haven't been tampered with, it will be easier to install the new software. I can do it myself." "Oh," said Madison softly. There was a worried expression on her face suddenly, and Bo could almost feel the anxiety coming off her. They were going to be alone together, and heck, he was worried too. As Bo worked, he and Madison held casual conversation, mostly about their work, nothing personal. After about an hour, Madison asked if he would mind if she stepped out to get some lunch. "That's a great idea. I work better and faster on a full stomach. I think I'll join you," said Bo. He stood up quickly from the unit he was working on and smiled. "Okay," Madison agreed. She was hoping to get away from him for a while, but the man was determined to be near her. She noticed that he was wearing jeans and shirt different from the day before. He was well built, not a flab in sight, she noticed. Bo waited for her to lock up and then told her that he was familiar with the area and knew of the perfect place for lunch within walking distance. They fell into step, and he led her to a West Indian restaurant with the food set up buffet style. They quickly made their plates and sat down to eat. Sitting across from him was an experience. She found herself staring at his large hands and wondering how they'd feel touching her skin. Bo tried his best not to stare at her mouth, but a thing like that was impossible. He wondered what her mouth would taste like. She was beautiful, and she didn't seem to know it. Madison didn't know how she managed to eat, but they were done. Bo insisted on paying for their lunch, so Madison tried to be pleasant. Once outside, she took a deep breath to steady herself. Bo stopped and clasped her hand. She turned to him expectantly, but didn't pull away. "Madison, there's something brewing between us, and I know I won't get a lick of work done until we figure it out." Madison lifted anxious eyes to him. "What do you suggest?" she asked him softly. She realized that she didn't contradict his assumption. He placed both hands on her shoulders and turned her around. "I live on the 10th floor of that building," he said, pointing to a building a block away from where they were standing. Madison turned to face him and nodded. Bo wasn't going to give her a chance to change her mind. He took her hand again in his, and they began to walk in the direction he'd pointed to. Suddenly, the tension between them seemed to evaporate. They both knew what was at the end of their walk, so they walked leisurely. What do you think is going to happen next? Comment what you think, and we'll see if you're right. Stay tuned for the next episode. Goodbye for now, and stay blessed. Oh, and don't forget to like and subscribe.